Hello, and welcome to another in our series of product overview presentations from the solutions we develop with Orchid Systems for Business. Orchid Systems has been a Gold Development Partner with Sage for over 16 years and has been the Gold Development Partner of the Year for Mid-Market ERP the past 3 years in a row. Orchid Systems develops applications that are based on the software development kit of Sage 300 ERP and is known for its very tight integration and high-quality application development skills. Today's presentation is focused on a budget demo using Information Manager. Information Manager is a tool that Orchid Systems developed to help companies manage information that's traditionally stored in spreadsheets or databases outside the Sage 300 ERP system. Information Manager has evolved into a high-end solution that includes several components for managing information or data, such as adding notes to any of the fields, adding documents, being able to generate Crystal and FR financial statement reports in a custom menu with hard-coded parameters for how you wish those reports to run so that they can be generated automatically and distributed automatically, either to folders or via email to the appropriate people in your organization. Today's focus is going to be based on a solution that's part of the Information Manager suite that we call optional tables, formerly known as supplementary data. Optional tables allows you to create info sets so that you can budget at a GL account level and include statistics and KPIs through optional fields. It also allows you to budget below the general ledger at a customer or item level so that you can track sales budgets or forecasts by customer and item. It also facilitates the use of information that you would publish up to Info Explorer, which is a multi-dimensional data cube tool that you can use to analyze information within Information Manager and across multiple Sage 300 modules. The benefit of using Information Manager is that you can create structured data, similar to what people call a data warehouse, right within the Sage 300 ERP database. Included with Information Manager optional tables is integration into Excel spreadsheets. And this is one of the more popular ways that people manage their budget process. However, by using Excel spreadsheets, you're moving data out of Sage 300 into the Excel spreadsheet, and then once it's manipulated for budget or forecast purposes in Excel, it then has to be manually entered back into the GL accounts for budget maintenance. So this presentation today will highlight how you can automate your budget process. As a decentralized organization, many people end up having budgets created by department managers or division managers or different program or fund managers within nonprofit organizations. And what we've developed is an easy-to-use, inexpensive budget solution that automates the process by automatically generating your Excel worksheets based on historical, actual, and budget information from within Sage 300, allows you to create those budgets by allowing the division managers to enter their budgets directly in Excel, and then updating the information from Excel into the Information Manager optional table, and then from there being able to review it if that's necessary within Info Explorer, and then updating either from Info Explorer with Budget Writeback or updating it through another process into your GL accounts. So let's go through a presentation based on a particular department or budget or fund, and we want to be able to generate the information within a certain fiscal year up to a certain fiscal period. And by hitting the Generate button, our system goes into the Sage 300 database tables, picks up the actual and budget information across various fiscal years or periods, to allow you a basis for establishing what that budget should look like for the rest of the current year and into future years based on your organization's requirements. So just like that, we have an Excel sheet created showing actual expenses for 2009-2010, our final budget for 2011, and then if we had year-to-date figures, we might have an estimate of our actuals for the rest of this year, and then a proposed budget for the following year, in this example, 2012. So if we look at these three accounts, 7,000, 7,016, and 7,090, we might need to enter in the information. Let's say we're going to budget $120,000 and $12,000 and then $1,200 in the various accounts. And this information can be set up to be minus information, which is negative, which means it's revenue, and then it could be broken out monthly. For our example today, we're just going to show an annual budget. So the managers could enter in their budget figures. You might have several meetings to discuss what's appropriate, and then there would ultimately be a final budget figure agreed upon. And this could be entered in Excel as well. So let's assume it's $120,000 in administration salaries, $12,000 in support salaries, and $1,200 as a payroll accrual. We would go ahead and save the information within the Excel spreadsheet as you do normally. And then the decentralized part of the budget process is complete. The next step is to move the information from within Excel into the Sage 300 ERP database, utilizing the optional tables component of Information Manager. Just like we have the FR Financial Statement Report Writer embedded within Excel as your financial statement tool in Sage 300, we utilize the same add-in capability within Excel to create our EB or Extended Budget functionality. This gives us the ability to read and write budget information that we've entered into Excel to update directly into Sage 300, or Accpac as it was formerly known. And so if we go back and we open up that budget sheet that we just saved, we can use our add-in capability to write this budget information directly into our Accpac or Sage 300 database. So if we say yes, it updates the information from the final budget figures that we recorded in Excel. And now this information is part of our standard ERP database tables. And if we want to view that information, it's visible in a number of ways. One is just through the integration with Excel, looking at it in Excel, or because it's part of the Sage 300 database now, we can open up the information and see it as part of a grid in a transaction entry screen, verifying that this information is now part of the Sage 300 ERP database. And from here, we could have a breakdown by fiscal year and period. We can include additional information. We can include attachments to support the budget figures that we've entered with additional comments. And this information can be updated as need be. Now, it's important to note that the information for the budget is within Information Manager's table within Sage 300, but we haven't updated it into the GL accounts just yet, because we're assuming that if we're using a decentralized or distributed budget process, there's going to have to be some level of consolidation, either within the Excel spreadsheet, where we combine the multiple sheets within the Excel budget tool, where each of the work sets has tabs for various divisions or departments, and then we consolidate all of the divisions and departments on multiple tabs to one consolidated sheet within Excel. Or we use the combination of information that we've stored within Information Manager to summarize it within this table. The next step in the budget demo is, once we've got the information within Sage 300 ERP, is we can now review it in Info Explorer for final approval. And this might be a management review of the budget information. And if you're not familiar with Info Explorer, we have a separate product presentation video on our YouTube channel, RL Associates Limited, that outlines the key functionality of Info Explorer. This is a tool that allows you to analyze information quickly and easily by dragging and dropping dimensions into a data cube. So as an example, if we're analyzing our budget information, we could quickly and easily analyze it by cost center, profit center, or department division, depending on how you've structured your segments within the general ledger. This is an optional step in the budget process, but potentially could be a very effective way to analyze your budgets for final approval. And with the new release of Info Explorer 2014, we now have the option to move the cube data into a work set so that we can write back the budget information directly into the Sage 300 tables. So with this write back feature, you have the option to do some additional final approval or adjustments within Info Explorer and write that back to the GL accounts. Or we have an Update GL Budget that allows you to do this process from within the Sage 300 desktop. So let's say we're taking this information to update our fiscal year 2012, and as you may be familiar, there's up to 5 budget fiscal sets within the GL accounts, and so we could keep multiple versions of the budget. In this case, we'll just update budget set 1, and as you may be aware, revenue or credit amounts are stored as negative numbers in the Sage 300 ERP database. So we might want to switch numbers that were entered in the Excel sheet as positive numbers but related to credit or revenue accrual balances and switch them to negative numbers so that they appear as credits within the GL accounts. And from here, the system prompts us as to whether we want to update GL budget set 1 within the GL accounts. We said yes, and so this process moves all of the data from the Excel sheets that we put into the Information Manager table and now publishes it up to the GL account budget maintenance. As I said, this is one option to do it. We could also do the write back into the GL account budgets from Info Explorer using the new budget write back feature. So now within GL account budget maintenance, the information that we managed through the budget process for account 7000, which was part of Department 06000, the administration salaries have now been updated directly into the GL budget maintenance, and it's been spread equally, in this case, across fiscal periods to give us our total of $120,000. The other account that we looked at was 7016, which were support salaries, and there's the $12,000 budget figure allocated evenly across the 12 fiscal periods. And finally, the payroll accrual for budget account 7090. This, you'll see, is a negative number because this is set up as a credit balance within the GL accounts. So our allocation of $1,200 for the payroll accrual is allocated at $100 for each individual month. But there's a quick and easy way for you to manage a decentralized budget process using the standard Excel templates that you've already developed. And what we do is essentially put those Excel sheets on steroids by embedding some key Information Manager formulas into the Excel sheets that allow reading and writing of budget data between Sage 300 ERP's database and the Excel sheets. And once those budgets have been updated for the future year, we create the budget figures automatically in the GL account budget maintenance. If you have any additional questions about this solution, you can contact your Sage 300 ERP business partner, or you can contact Orchid Systems at info.orchidsystems.biz. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. We look forward to speaking with you very soon.